All right, we are back here at Samsara's Beyond Conference. First time here for FreightWaves, but excited to have this beautiful booth. Happy to see everyone out there as well, all of our partners and sponsors for Samsara. I'm excited. It's actually the first time I've ever been to this conference and attend a lot of them. This one has been quite informational, but just honestly, like this crowd of incredible shippers, large, small, medium-sized fleets. It's crazy to see. And I've got a special guest here with me as well. If you go ahead and introduce yourself to this wonderful audience.
Hi, everybody. I'm Frances Kilgour. I work with Drivewyze. I'm our VP of Business Development and Channel Management, so responsible for all of our fantastic partnerships.
I want to start with you. Background-wise, you've been with Drivewyze for a while. Have you always been in this industry? Is that...
No, it's about 6 years I've been at Drivewyze. I was actually working in professional services sales with like Salesforce, so always in partnerships for a long time. And I was actually working with Drivewyze
That's right,
in a different capacity. So they said, do you want to come on board? And I was like, okay, yeah, let's do that. That sounds fun. So I came on board to help build out the channel model that was really new.
Love that. Well, I want to talk about this event here today and what brings the company Drivewyze to this. Why is this important for you guys to attend?
So it's our third year participating, and Samsara is a fantastic partner for Drivewyze. So we always want to show our love back and support the partnership. It's also such a perfect opportunity to hear directly from our customers what they want from us, what works well, what they need help with. So it's really a tremendous opportunity to get right in front of our customers and then be able to have conversations together with Samsara and the customers to figure out how we can really make the best experience for everybody.
I think that's really seems to be the trend of this conference is discussions and building a stronger partnership than before you came here. And maybe for the audience who might not know who Drivewyze is, can you tell a little bit about what your offerings are and the work you're doing in the space?
Absolutely. So we're an in-cab notification company. So we started with bypass notifications. We've been doing that for a long time. So lots of people know us from our bypass service, offering way station bypass at over 800 sites in 44 states and provinces. So it's lots of coverage. It's lots of partnerships on that side too with government and law enforcement. We also have been expanding into safety quite a bit. So proactive in-cab notifications to help drivers know in advance what's happening on the roadway that they can't predict, right? So you got lots of stuff like navigation that helps you know where you're going, but you don't always know that there's an ambulance on the side of the road 2 miles ahead of you and that there's likely congestion in that area. So we've been working really closely with our agency partnerships and our delivery partners to be able to bring more safety services to the market.
This is a fun night, especially in the work that you do. What sticks out from your competitors out there in this space? So why choose Drivewyze over anyone else?
Yeah, so we have been driver-centric, driver-focused, partner-focused since the beginning. What we looked at in the market was, what do fleets like? What do fleets not like about their partnerships? Do they want more vendors or less vendors? And how do we make it as easy as possible for a driver to use our service without having to think about us? And that really helps us to stand out as partners so we can have a really rich partner ecosystem. And it really helps us to stand out in cab so that drivers have the best experience with Drivewyze. Drivers love Drivewyze.
Yeah, well, it's interesting because I talk to drivers, big fleets, small fleets, all different areas in the country, and there's always this back and forth argument of technology. And I'm interested in your perspective. Do you feel like that the average driver is starting to understand the importance of what this tech is starting to do? And maybe what's pushed that?
And I think that now it's been a long enough time of like forced adoption, right? Like early on, there was kind of no choice in some cases. And sometimes that helps you get over the hump till you start to see how it does benefit you. And then as soon as you can see how it benefits you, it kind of brings down the guard a little bit and makes it a little bit easier to adopt. I come from a trucking family. My dad is a trucker, and I still get a daily call about how to do something on Facebook or, how to make the printer work or all of these things. So I think you also have a long time of people that are maybe not as comfortable with technology, but now they're starting to use it in general in their everyday lives. And it makes it just a little bit easier to kind of start to adopt and understand how it benefits you. And then I think there are lots of great companies and partnerships out there that are trying to make it easier on the driver so that it's not a big burden to start your day. You can be really good at your job and the technology can work for you.
It's funny that you say that. I'm slowly getting my own father to what I call iPhone land, and I got him an iPod.
Yeah.
Because in the Wi-Fi it works, and it's interesting, like watching that evolution, that education of like using technology. A big thing for him, I always tell him, is like, what button do you think would do that? And that's all like the user interface aspect. And I wonder, especially your role, I'm interested in this viewpoint. How do you work with drivers, or maybe an experience or some type of solution that you've created at Drivewyze where the driver's experience has really helped produce that?
So as much as possible for us, our service is automagical, I like to say. For the drivers, they get in and it works.
Yeah.
And that's our goal. So they don't have to interact with our software a lot. It pops up when we need them. They can tap anywhere to dismiss at one time. So from a training perspective and an adoption perspective for us, we just try to make it as simple and easy as possible to not be another thing that a driver has to worry about in the day, but just be a pure benefit as they drive down the road.
Yeah.
And then we take tons of driver feedback on anything that is, like just general feedback, like that, I didn't get an alert at this way station. What's happening? We can go and take a look at it and fix it. So they're constantly making sure that our technology works how they expect it and where they expect it. And it's really easy for us to pivot on any of that feedback and pull it into the product life cycle.
Yeah. From your experience, you said 6 or 7 years, right, at the company. What was your most proud moment so far in those years where you're like, okay, this is like really this is make my dad proud?
For me, it should be more about Drivewyze specifically, and Drivewyze has been a great place to work. But you know what? I love seeing like the Million Miler get their award. I love to be able to kind of see that stuff. I always love to see like that guy got new coveralls for this experience.
Yeah.
Right? To see like he's proud and the culture of safety and having legacy drivers really like help and train new drivers and kind of create that culture of safety for us. As a company, safety is critically important. I drive on the road every day. I drive between cities every day. It's a transport route. I don't want to see trucks in the ditch. I don't want to see accidents. And knowing that we help participate in like safety culture around drivers and have a reward for drivers, that's really cool for us. So it's not just like you should be safe, but here is your benefit of being safe.
Well, what's interesting on that safety note too is like, it's almost the protection of the good work that you do. A lot of what comes across my desk as a writer in this space is these nuclear verdicts that we're seeing, and it's very unfortunate that the average usual jury is going to side against a driver. And I hope anyone who isn't in this industry might be on one of those panels one day, like, please consider what the driver goes through. But how do you feel like Drivewyze considers that aspect, right? Of like, this isn't something to fear, but something that we really need to address for just overall protection.
Yeah, so for us, it's really around as much proactive alerting as we can provide is our angle to help support that. We all can see the videos. We've got now lots of front-facing cameras where you can see a car drives right in front. You're coming up to a light and somebody cuts in front. You're not thinking that this vehicle is heavy. It doesn't stop in the same way. So for us, the ability to help a driver know, like I said, like 2 miles ahead that something is up, it gives them a chance to slow down without, coming over the crest of a hill and seeing something.
Yes.
Because for a driver, I can't imagine anything more terrifying than that.
Right.
You don't want to ever be responsible for hurting somebody.
Yeah.
So I think we do really, really good work to try to help them be proactive and help them have as much knowledge on the roadway as possible.
Awesome. Partnerships, right, with Samsara. Interested in how long has that been going on, and what really kicked off that conversation?
Yeah, so we've had a partnership first model since our inception. So we've really looked to what is in cab today from a technology perspective, and how do we deliver on what's already in cab. We know, nobody wants to buy a piece of hardware that's, specific for one company. So that was our model originally on how to deliver. Samsara has been coming into the market in a big way. We've been partners now for 4 or 5 years, so fairly early on, and trying to figure out, what's the best way to deliver together to this ecosystem. Samsara is growing like crazy.
Yeah, don't blame him. I mean, to be candid, I see a lot of demos. Like, that's a lot of the work that I do, and I've spent a lot of time these last couple of days not only seeing the demos of their tech, but even like seeing it from a customer's perspective. Like literally, they sent us to a customer here in town, and we got to see their fleet interactions and everything like that. And it was just like blown away by the number of features and different pieces that it's like, wow, it's just like one central place to manage your fleet. And I think, is that important for you to be a part of that type of network?
Yeah, absolutely. It's important to us. We know that there's a lot of mission critical stuff that is happening at fleets, and we don't want to be another thing to manage. We want to be something that fits seamlessly into operations, and having partnerships like Samsara allows us to be able to do that for fleets.
Yeah. When you come here, what's the goal? What's for you? You're like, all right, this is the plan, this is the action, this is what we need to get done.
Yeah. For us, the biggest part is being able to connect with fleets, with partners, with Samsara, to be able to have those meaningful conversations. There's a lot of conversations that happen on the show floor that allow us to influence things like our own product roadmap, or what we should do next with Samsara, or how we should operate. So for us, there's no better feedback, and there's no better opportunity to pull that feedback in a meaningful way than to come. So for me, it's all about the networking. It's all about the customer conversations.
Love that. I mean, yeah, it's been fun seeing exactly like what they're working on, what they're hoping to do in the future. And for you, roadmap wise, looking into the rest of this year, into next year, what's on Drivewyze's mind? What are you looking to hopefully implement? You don't have to give me all the secret sauce, but it's a little taste.
Yeah. We continue to expand our safety offering. It's really important for us that we have the most coverage around safety, and that we can provide the alerts as necessary. So that's always really exciting. Increased coverage. So, working on more coverage throughout Canada, maximizing coverage through the US for our bypass network to make sure that fleets can bypass as much as possible. And we are also participating in pilots around electronic inspection,
Interesting.
which is, it's early stages, but it is really one of those next things that can help revolutionize the industry. So it's been really exciting to work on those pieces.
Love that. Last question. We're going to take it a little bit more personal. There's not a lot of ladies here. I will say the positive thing, the restroom lines are short. So that's the good thing about it.
Place.
It's the only place that happens. So clean, so quiet, so great. But we need to get more women in this industry.
Yes.
Any advice you give to women out there that with your career here, and why they should choose maybe logistics, transportation, this industry in particular?
Yeah, I think that things like supply chain, technology, they've been female light. I think you can bring a really interesting perspective anytime you're kind of pushing your way in. So, I mean, finding great allies is the best piece that I've been able to do career-wise. People that believe in you regardless of who they are and where they fit in the company. Getting a recommendation to go and try something is always great. And there are so many jobs in this industry. There's no, whatever you're into, HR, supply chain, mechanics,
alternative fuels,
everything. There's every job you can imagine.
Robot,
right? And it's huge. Like, the industry is huge. You look around, you look at anything that gets shipped. So it's a great industry to get into because there's no real shortage of opportunity to be successful.
Love that. Good pitch. For all those women out there, listen to her. Any avenue, we will need you at some point in this industry.
And then you'll help us get better swag for women.
Yes, 1,000%. Thank you so much for bringing that up. Yeah, equality in the swag game. Let's get that up as well. We all have enough water bottles, right?
I need some smaller socks.
Yeah, some more pink pens, purple pens, something like that. Thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate it. And for everyone, we'll have some more videos coming to you shortly from Samsara's Beyond 2024.